So thank you so much again for agreeing, to do this interview. I have done some healing interviews, like, therapy, or there are so many things. And I really wanted to, invite you. And I'm so grateful that you said yes to this one. And
I'm
everybody,
I'm honored. Thank you for inviting me.
and I really don't know how to introduce you because I'll start with what I feel when I'm around you. And when I'm around you, I just feel like I can be myself. And there's always a healing happening for me, um, whether I understand it or not. So everybody, this is Liza Miron. I really respect this human being, and she's a life coach and family constellation facilitator. And I would like to let her tell you what she actually does. You take it away, Lisa.
Yes, well, thank you so much. And thank you for that beautiful introduction. I've never been introduced that way, and I think that it's so special. So thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for inviting me and having me here. So my name is Liza Miron, and I'm a life coach and a family constellation facilitator. I know that most of the people know what life coaching is. So I'm not going to talk a lot about that. I'm just going to say that when I was doing my training in life coaching, one of my teachers said, Lisa, no matter, well, he didn't say Lisa, he said, everyone, we were in a class. So he said, no matter, but I took it like deep into my heart, this message that he said, no matter what you do with your clients, how many action plans, how many limiting beliefs, how many emotions you work with them. There's some clients that are just going to be stuck and they're not going to be able to achieve their goals. And to these clients, you just have to say that they have to do a family constellation. And I was like, a what? What in the world are you talking about? And I even thought, of course, the first thing that comes to your mind is the stars. And this has
Right.
nothing to do with the stars, actually. So it definitely felt important. So I started to learn more about it. And from the first moment that I went into a group of family constellations, for me, it was like magic. It was like everything made sense. It
Yeah.
was like, wow, now I understand all those questions that I didn't have an answer for. Now this makes sense. It was like
Yeah.
things started connecting in my, not just in my brain, but in my energy, like in my conscious, like in a deep level, things were starting to connect and to make sense. And I started learning more about it and learning more and more and more because I thought that it was fascinating. And it was like, for me, it was like love at first sight, to be honest. I know that that's not the same for everyone, but for me, I mean, I've been hooked since the first session that I went to.
Wow.
And I've been, seeing how it has transformed the lives of so many people that I really think it's amazing. And I was in Spain at that moment. So that's where I did my training of family constellations. And then I came to the US. And I've been here already for more than 10 years. And when I came here, I was like, where's my group of family constellations? Because with my teacher, I used to go every Tuesday. She would have groups in person on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And we would be 30, 40 people every single day. And for me, it was part of my life, part of my, you go to the gym, I go to the gym, I go and do family constellations, I go to the supermarket, and it was just so integrated. So when I came here, it's like, where's my group? I'm going to see where am I going to go to my weekly sessions of family constellations. And I hardly found anything here. I couldn't find, I was in Santa Cruz at that moment, and there was someone that used to do it once in a while, another person in Palo Alto, and they didn't do it that often.
Right.
So I started trying to find out more information, and I started to learn more and to be here for a longer period of time. And when I realized that it was just that, it wasn't that common over here, I said, well, I have my training, so I'll start my own group. And that was around 10 years ago. So Yeah, so I've been doing family constellations here in the US for around 10 years, together with being a life coach. But the big part of what I do is the family constellations. And I know that we'll talk more about this, so I'm not gonna talk more about what it is because I know that you'll have more questions. But I just wanted to let you know a little bit of how I came into this, who am I and where I come from. I'm from Guatemala, but I was living in Spain at that moment when I studied the family constellations.
This is incredible. Just with this conversation, I learned two things about like today. One is I also mispronounce your name, Miron. I didn't
Yeah.
know it was pronounced uh, that way. I always said Myron because we live in US and then you know how we pronounce I. Such a beautiful name. And then the other thing is I always thought that you know, you grew up with this. Like, you know, it's just part of you, part of your culture, you know, from Guatemala or something like that. I never thought, maybe I never heard your story about how you came around it. That's really, really incredible. And it seems like it called you like a life purpose. So that is so beautiful to hear your story. For me, I just want to say I've done a lot of healing, therapy, a lot of other therapy methods because I am very fascinated about healing. And when a common friend connected us, um, when I met you, I felt like, what is she talking about? This family constellation. What is that? I usually like if I don't feel comfortable, I Google and uh, try to learn about that person or what that thing is. But what was funny was when I met you over I think it was over the phone, I just felt at ease. And I was like, oh my God, even though I feel like this is weird, I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna, check it out. And ever since it's just, I follow that because that's what I've done in my life. I follow my heart wherever I feel comfortable. And we're not from the same country, but sometimes I hear you speak my language. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like I just feel comfortable. So for those viewers who think, this is weird, and think with the mind, what do you think? Like, did you feel that way in the beginning, or no, or what would you say to them?
That is very weird.
Thank you for the permission because it's weird, right?
It is. So going back to what you said, I love it. I love what you said because this is what I always tell my clients. When somebody calls me and says, "Listen, somebody told me about family constellations, and I found your information, and I really don't know if this what it is for me," and I tell them a little bit about what it is, and I say, "So this is what it's about." However, I have a lot of videos in my YouTube channel, and the reason why I have that is because I want people to see me. I want people to feel how they feel when they listen to what I'm saying. And that's what's going to give them the information if we're a good fit, if there's something that I can help them with. And I think that this is why I love it when you said it, because it's a great way to really follow your intuition on what's really best for you. Because sometimes some modalities are going to be really good for you, and sometimes those are not the best. And
Yeah.
sometimes some people in that modality are best and others are not, depending on their own path. So in whatever modality we're doing, whatever kind of healing, we need to make this connection with the person and see if there's a connection, see if we get that feeling that you actually sensed when we communicated. You kind of felt like safe. You kind of felt that there was something there for you, that this was that you felt that you wanted to know more about. And that's a great way. And especially with so many energy modalities that they're all a little bit strange. And they're strange because we don't know a lot about the energy, because it's not something that we can see. And family constellations isn't energy modality. We're working with the things that we cannot see. We're working what we have on the subconscious, the hidden part. So of course it's weird, because the way of accessing this information is kind of like through our intuition.
And tell me, and the audience who will be watching this later, what is it? What is family constellation? What is it?
Yeah. So family constellations, it's a tool. Like there's so many other tools for healing. And the main objective that we're doing with family constellations, it's healing the ancestral trauma that we have from our family lineage, the entanglements, we call them as well, the parts that, like the energetic bonds that we have, that we unconsciously carry, that limit our lives. So from the moment of conception to the first years of our lives, we're so grateful for our life, and we want to belong to the system, because belonging means survival. So for these two reasons, we're going to start having these energetic connections, entanglements, bonds that we do with our ancestors. And we say, I'm going to do it the same way as you, because I want to belong. I want to be one of you. For us, belonging means survival. Or I'm so grateful for my life that out of this gratefulness, I'm going to take on what's pending for healing in the family system. So this is like a very unconscious, a very, we also say it archaic, like pure, innocent kind of love that we have in the moment of conception into the first years of our lives, where we just want to give back, and we say, I'll take this and I'll take that and I'll do it like you. And then we make these premises, we make these vows that we're going to actually take on the trauma of our ancestors, the fear, the grief, the pain, the suffering. And we are going to take it on to heal it. But it's almost impossible to do it in our lives, because if I'm taking the grief of my grandmother because she lost a child, she has that pain and she knows how to connect that pain to something. But if I'm only carrying the pain, I may not even know my grandmother, or even, know that she lost a child. But if I carry her pain, then I just feel this pain all the time. I feel depressed. I feel that I just don't want to be in life, and I don't know why. So it's very hard for me to heal, because it's not mine. I cannot understand it. It's hard for me to find those tools to deal with the pain of something that I don't know where it originated, or I don't even know with whom it originated. So this is why this tool is so powerful, because what it's helping us do is go to that deep unconscious level where we have all these vows, promises, entanglements, energetic bonds with our ancestors, and to say, this part of my life that's being blocked, that's being affected, that's being, not being able to flow in life with it, I want to heal it. I want to see where this is coming from. So with the tool of family constellations, then we access this information, and then we say, and this is not what some people think, I'm just going to cut off myself from my ancestors, and then it's like separating. I'm not carrying anything else from them. This is not actually the work. It's actually the opposite. We're now going to look at them consciously, realize that they did the best that they could, that they didn't have the tools that we had, that they suffered. And we're going to look at them with love, with respect, with honor. We're going to accept them the way they are, the way they were. We're going to say thank you, because whatever they did was important for us to be alive today. And we're going to say, I'm not going to, I'm already honoring, seeing you, respecting you consciously. And then this way, our subconscious doesn't have to have that connections anymore with them, because we're already connecting with our heart. So we're able to let go for, all those unconscious decisions, all those traumas, all those emotions that we're carrying for our ancestors with this work. But it comes from love. It comes from acceptance. It comes from honoring, respecting, and connecting to them, not by disconnecting to them, but completely the opposite. And this is the work that we're doing in family constellations. The part of connecting with our ancestors, connecting to them with love, and letting go of what is not our responsibility, so that we can be free to have the life that we actually deserve.
This is really amazing, and I'm trying to write because I have like many questions that came from it. And you said a few things that I love hearing. Belonging, as an immigrant myself. I had to go through that. Belonging is a big, word for me. And also respect and forgiveness and love, all this stuff um, is really amazing, right? That's what we need. And that's what we need to connect to. But for someone who's been, especially coming to the US, one of my cultural shock. I think in the past you were also a coach for immigrants, I believe. You could relate maybe somehow. One of my cultural shock was, my goodness, when somebody dies, or the way Americans grieve and the way people from my country grieve is completely different. We allow for a lot of time to process and to that's the time we come together. That's where you see love, you see a lot of be in touch, and you allow the person to cry and be in touch with their feelings. And it was very confusing to me when I first came here, and then people are like, done, and then they're like going, oh my god, I don't think I could ever do that. How are they doing that? It was very confusing for me. And then finally, I found out that actually it's like cutting, from your emotions and just, weathering the difficulty by yourself, and the opposite of what I knew uh, community to be. Um, so how could someone like that um, can come to this, or how, if it makes sense, if my question makes sense, if you are
So
disconnected from your feelings or emotions, how can you come to this idea of being connected and love and all that?
yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, no problem. So
Yeah.
I'll answer, and you let me know if that was what you were the question that
Right.
you had.
Mhm.
So there is, in general, at least in the way that I grew up, even I was not in this culture, but still in my culture, there was a big disconnection from the emotions.
Mm.
And however, I feel that, and I've seen, not only feel, I've seen that is changing a lot. That
Mm.
there's a big shift
Right.
of accepting our emotions.
Right.
And I think that is very important, and it's necessary, and it's part of this healing that's happening, this collective healing that's happening. But I know there's so much more acceptance of people feeling sad, of people feeling even angry, without judging the emotion itself. And I've seen it with children, with teachers helping children accept their emotions, not reject them, and letting children cry, and not, girls cannot be angry because they look ugly, and boys cannot cry because that's only all these things of rejecting emotions. Now I've seen that teachers are teaching children it's okay to be angry,
Right.
but it is not okay to hurt somebody else because of that anger. And they're
Right.
helping children manage and understand and navigate their emotions. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's amazing. And that's part of the collective healing that we're experiencing. And it is so important. And it is important for us, at least my generation, that I wasn't allowed to connect to those feelings. I still had all those taboos that, don't cry in public, don't let people
Yeah.
see that you've been hurt, don't be vulnerable, all that part. So I think there's a big generation in around my age that I'm included, where we need to work with accepting our emotions, with knowing what to do with them, with
Yeah.
feeling comfortable, feeling uncomfortable,
Yes.
with just being in the emotion.
I love
But I
that.
see that it's happening, and I see that there's a lot of tools for that. And I'm hoping that those tools are also helping us reach that part of death and how we experience death. Because something that I've seen is that it's not even talked about, that it's like something that we pretend that's not going to happen. And sometimes we mention things to others and they're like,
Yeah.
nothing, don't say that, don't talk about it. And I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Let me tell you a secret. It's going to happen to you, to me, and to every single person alive in this moment. Death will come. And it's something that I wish that we could talk about more freely, to be better prepared, not just for the reality of when it happens and the logistic of it that's so complicated, but for the emotional part. Because I think that when we live accepting this part of life that is death, then we live better each moment.
Yep.
Because we know that we don't know when that's going to happen. So we allow ourselves to be in the present and to enjoy the present moment, to enjoy the connection with others, because we don't know when else are we going to have that connection with that person. So when we're together with our loved ones, we allow ourselves to be there 100%, allowing things to be just the way they are and happy, just because that moment exists. And I think that that's something that it's missing, because in the society, the way we are right now, at least here in the US, we tend away, and I say we tend away because I'm part of it, and I'm trying not to, but it's like I get, I feel it, so then I cannot talk with others this way, because I get that rejection, and then I kind of have to do this the way they do. In a way, I can talk to it with the ones that are open, but I need to respect that there's some people that are not ready. So, but I'm hoping that all these is opening up those conversations, so that we can better manage death, the emotions that come, and the logistic that come around that. For the other part that I'm talking about, to also better enjoy the present.
Right. I love that. I really love that. So some people actually feel like when we talk about being positive, or they think about like being woo-woo, like we said earlier, but it's actually not. It's feeling the feelings, right? Whatever is there. If I'm sad, not to be afraid and then feel that. But there are also tools to help them, get there. That's what we're doing. We're not saying we have mastered everything, but we are in that process of healing moment by moment, and being guided and clearing that. And I love how you mentioned that we are seeing it more with kids. I see that with my kid as well. And when it comes to emotion, in my culture also, I didn't grow up feeling, that way. Just stuff them in, you know. And I grew up not knowing how to, okay, stuff it, and then where, and then someday it will explode. I've always been like that, and except when it comes to elderly, and then also someone passing, that's the time for you to feel whatever you feel, which I was referring to, and which was very interesting to me, like the expression of grief and sadness, and then that's when you see it, and I'm like, oh wow, it took me a while, actually, circumstances in my life that pushed me to actually feel my feelings. And it's such a wonderful process, like you said. We're all going through it. And we're very lucky to be in this time, in this space and time, to experience it and just keep healing. So for people, and what I heard was like, for people, who are not ready, if they follow their curiosity, or, just intuition, oh, I just want to try it, right? I just want to go and see what this family constellation is all about, uh, that could be the intuition that could lead them to first open, right? Open up to see, oh, it's okay to feel my feelings, right? And we all been there, like we were afraid to feel our feelings, but it's the most liberating thing I have ever done in my life, even though things pushed me to do it. It was not a choice. It is the best feeling that you could ever have as a human being. even when you are in the process, even though we don't know where we're going, right? So I just wanted to ask, for people who come curiously to you, or people who follow their heart, how does it work when they come to you? Could you tell the audience that how it works?
Yeah. So it's so different because each person is completely different. Each family system is completely different. Um, some people come to me in a group session, and that's the first time that I meet them. Sometimes they come in a personal session, and then that's the first time that I meet them. But in general, people come because they're looking for some kind of healing. They kind of feel that this is something, like you said, that's like a calling, that they feel that there's something there for them.
Yeah.
Often people that come to family constellations are people that are looking for some kind of healing and get that understanding that, there's places in us where we're just stuck, and there's like something more.
Yeah.
And we don't know what, and this tool can help bring some more understanding. So people come with that part, or because they're stuck in certain parts of their lives, and they come, I've been stuck with this my whole life and I just don't know why, or I've been having these patterns in my life, and this is why I'm coming to these sessions, because somebody recommended them to me.
Yeah.
Or I have people saying, I don't believe anything of this, but I've been going to therapy for 6 months. And it's like, how much more can I talk about the same thing over and over again without looking at any changes in my life? So I'm open to anything now because, I want some changes, and I'm even willing to do this that I don't believe in.
Yeah.
So, and it's fascinating. It's really fascinating. A lot of people come because they have problems with their parents, and they they have like some deeper understanding that there's
Yeah.
something that they need to work on there. So then it depends, because each person has a different path and a different starting point and a different point of where they started to look for information or for healing. So
Right.
then, according to how each person comes, then we start exploring, we start opening up to the healing. And I say opening up to the healing and not fixing things, which is something very important, because here we're not really fixing anything. We're just opening up to the healing.
Yeah.
And we are opening up to the guidance and to be guided in what's best for us and for the family system. Because when I do all this work, I tell my clients that we're going to hold their intention lightly, because we're going to hold an overall intention of having the best possible healing for them and their whole family system in the work that we're doing here today. And the reason why we don't hold on their intention very specifically is because we don't know if that's what's best for them.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody comes and says, I want to have a partner because I'm desperate and I want this to happen next month.
Right.
Or, I need a promotion. There's something going up in my work, and there's an opportunity, and I want to get that promotion. And then, so I say, perfect. And we're going to hold that intention. We're going to hold that what's ever best for you in your professional career to come, to open, to be available. Is that promotion going to be really the best? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. That person has no idea either.
No.
So we don't want to hold an intention very strongly because we really don't know what's best. We really don't know if that's the path that's going to be the best way for that person to get the wealth, the well-being, the connection, the love, the flow in life that they're actually looking for. So then we open up to an energy that knows more than us, to be guided, to be helped. Just like you came at the beginning, that you said, I'm not sure what this is for or what's going to happen, but it feels so good. And then that's when we completely like open our heart and surrender to what's best for us. And then things start flowing better.
And I love it. I mean, in any culture, there's a reason why we have the word God willing or inshallah or something before we put an intention. Oh, I'm going to go somewhere, God willing. It's because we don't know best. And so I really love that. And talking from my experience, I I didn't know why I came to you in the beginning. Somebody connected me. I knew that there was some connection. And then I came to your group that you offer, and then I experienced you also one-on-one, and that was very, very what I love about, and I also attended the in-person, and what I love about what you do is it always leaves me being surprised, meaning like I cannot comprehend it in my head. And I'm thinking about, oh, you know what? I want healing for my son or something like that. But then, like you said, it's different because when I came up, okay, what is this about? Then I would have like a memory or something from my childhood that I needed to heal or something like that. And it always leaves me healing my heart, and which is what you are talking about. I felt like, okay, that's what I needed, and um like I said, God willing. And that's really incredible. So can you tell our viewers what kind of programs you offer and where they can start, depending on where they are?
Yeah, so the best place is to go to my website. That's coachingandconstellations.com.
Okay.
And like I was saying, look at some videos. There you'll find a tab with videos, and you'll find there the link to my YouTube channel. So look at the videos to start, learning more, to see if this is something that it's attracted to you, if you feel that you want to learn more. Then, if you think that you do, then you can either do a session with me to have a personal family constellation, or maybe you want to do it in a group session. I do group sessions in person and online. And in my website as well, you have the links for the individual session, or that I do also in person or via Zoom online, or the group sessions in events. I have there the events that I do. If somebody doesn't want to go directly to do a constellation because they're not sure, then I invite them to come to a session, a group session, and just, be part of the session. And that's also very interesting and very healing already. Or another option that I have is that I have an on-demand course that people can do, so that they can start learning a little bit more, but without going all the way in to do their own constellation, and then decide if they actually do want to have a personal constellation. So that's what I would suggest, to start with my website and start with the YouTube videos, and then decide if they want to do a little bit more, either in a group session or in an individual session with me, or maybe the on-demand course to start doing it in their own pace. Yeah.
I really do believe, even if they don't understand it, just like I didn't understand why the person I haven't talked to for a long time connected me with you, and then it just made sense as I go along, and got to know you. I'm sure people also will be happy to find you like I did.
Thank you.
And with that, I just would like to say thank you for coming. Is there anything that you want to say to someone who may be listening and is curious, other than what we said already?
So the only thing that I already mentioned that I want to say again, that I feel that's the most important part of all, is the part of deciding to enjoy your life, your present moment.
Yeah.
Because we're waiting and waiting and waiting. And, days go by, months, and then years.
Yeah.
And what are we waiting for? And when you were talking about, being positive, I don't think some people misunderstand that being positive is being happy the whole time. And of course, that's impossible. We're, sometimes we're just concentrated, not happy. We are sometimes angry, sometimes we're sad. And that's just part of all the experiences of life.
Right.
But I think part of being positive is understanding that that is life. And that even though we may be sad for moments, we're able to see all the good things that we still have in our life and appreciate them. And then that gives us some tools to be able to deal with the sadness. But we don't reject the sadness, we accept it. And
Right.
we look at the positive things on life and the positive things of whatever made us sad, whatever we're experiencing that, and we appreciate it. And we let ourselves be in the present and enjoy the present moment. And the more we're able to do that, to be in the present and to enjoy the present moment with gratefulness for what we have, the more we heal and the more the family system heals.
It's a powerful tool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Lisa. I have so many questions. I might even call you back so that I can learn more, and then also to give value to people who go through healing. And thank you for what you do. What you do is really important, and I continue to cherish your friendship, and I continue also to use your wisdom for my own healing.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the invitation, for the lovely conversation, that it went so fast.
Right.
Thank you for having me here. I love it. I've had such a wonderful time.
As I did. Thank you.